Heyo, Greg Branos here for the Coach Speak Index. Yes, sir. What a Friday. What a Friday doubleheader we have in store for everyone today. Ripping a couple Best Ball Mania 6 drafts. And my first guest today, saving the best for next to last, right? He is a fantasy football content destroyer at PlayerProfiler, and this guy sucks. Chuck Bass, what's up, man?
What's happening? I'm double fisting for our Friday show. I'm supposed to be in a meeting right now, so I can write off whatever we end up happening here, and promoting the brand, promoting life. Still recovering from the Fantasy Football Expo. Hands are still shaking like crazy, but they're not going to be when we make these picks, right?
That's right. I saw a lot of videos of you at the expo and some photos. I think some of the photos were yours. The videos were other people, just in GIFs or GIFs of you at a rave or something there.
Yeah, most of them I had a Jello shot in my mouth for the last like 4 hours of the expo party, but they were giving out like hospital grade. They weren't like these little shooters like you get at Carlos and Charlie's. They were like huge foot-long Jello shots, and they were giving them out for free. So people are like, so what are your content plans for the next year? And I'm like, do you know that they're playing you and the booty on the dance floor right now? I've got to go.
The Jello shot syringes. I bought a whole big pack of those several years ago off of Amazon. We threw an Oscar party.
Nice.
And had like themed food and drinks and whatever for all the different films that were nominated that year. And for Beautiful Boy, which was like Timothy Chalamet is a heroin addict. Steve Carell is his dad. So we did these like gigantic syringes.
Oh, perfect.
And every time I would pass the bowl, I would just pick another one up. Like not a lot of people were consuming them. So I would just pick one up every time I passed the bowl.
Yeah.
And of course with Jello shots, like you're not it's like, oh, this is just Jello, right? It's some sort of cognitive dissonance that takes maybe it's the alcohol.
Yeah.
But by the end of the night I was in real rough shape.
Oh, I'm sure you were like me. We ended up having like a box of Jello, basically, is what the end of the night was. Like it wasn't some little cup. Like they were going down, and probably consumed like 1,500 calories in just that alone.
Wow. I think it was the same party, because I believe it was the same year as First Reformed came out. We did First Reformed shots, which was like whiskey with Pepto-Bismol.
On top of the Jello shots?
No. Yes. Yeah. Same.
I'm glad you're still here with us. I'm glad that the Coach Speak Index survived all this, because even I'm starting to, get a little damn.
Yeah. Well, I also just like rarely drink. Like I'll drink when I'm out with friends or whatever, but I just like really don't drink at home.
I got that covered for you today, so don't worry.
I have a pretty low tolerance for alcohol, and I hate throwing up. So just
Well, you know what? I don't think that you're gonna have to worry about that today. That we've got 11 other teams in this draft they're gonna throw up for us.
Yeah, we're gonna enter a draft right now. Little 5-second heads up. Best Ball Mania 6 draft on Underdog. Let's jump in here. Waiting on 11, 10, 9 people.
Lovely.
You're the first ones in. First in the gym. Last one out. We're scrappy. We're coaches' sons over here.
So you've been just crushing these drafts, and I've been loving them. You've been putting out great stuff on top of your amazing Coach Speak Index. But I have to ask you for today, is there anything you haven't done yet that you want to do? Is there any itch you haven't scratched yet that you're like, this is the time to do it?
What do you mean?
With a team build, with a high, something where the variance is so high it's actually off. It's almost off the table.
Like super galaxy brained.
Yes.
Yeah, like a Quinshon Judkins, Joe Mixon, Deontay Johnson,
Just
Rashi
absolute
Rice, Jordan
pillars of
Addison.
the community. We're
Yeah,
talking about Project Innocence at its absolute finest. You don't need a pardon when there's no charges pressed.
I have a T-shirt that says that.
That was for your Oscar party.
That's our best-selling T-shirt in the Coach Speak Index merch shop.
Was that for your Army Hammer Oscar party?
Yeah. If you have a weird ass name like Army Hammer, you can't also be doing weird ass stuff. But I guess it's also on us to be surprised when like Army Hammer ate somebody.
Yeah. Also, like when you're an actor, like you just get a free pass to do it on camera. Why are you doing weird shit in the bedroom when you can just you can have the studio hire you a director and a DP who'll shoot it for you in a closed set? Like, come on, you have it made.
Yeah. Bunch of amateurs, man.
Those guys could never stream a draft. They wouldn't last.
They wouldn't last a day in the content creator streets. We have the third pick, by the way, about to be up on the clock. Here we are.
Nice.
CeeDee Lamb, Saquon, Gibbs, Jefferson, CMC. Who you liking?
I think Saquon, because I think this is probably one of the last times we'll ever get some really high Saquon draft capital. I don't know what the future looks like for our boy, but I feel like they're going to ride him off into the sunset at some point here.
Yeah, they've been saying that, hey, it worked last season. Not really much reason to switch things up. Saquon's great.
Yeah, and they've been doing that with whoever's their starting running back is. Just the results have depended upon the quality of the starter. So, and not that there's a whole lot of anybody's game you can pick apart in the first round. I love all these guys. I've just always kind of been a little bit more fond of, like superhero RB. And this is the guy who's built to do it of all these studs.
If we were going to pick apart someone in the first round, who would it be?
Oh, that's such an A+ question.
And if you can do it in a Christopher Walken accent for us.
Oh God. I'm not a big accent guy, but I love this already. The guy that I would pick in the first round, Greg, my guy. I'm telling you, it's Malik Neighbors. I get it. Targets. But there's only so many targets that you can manufacture for a guy playing on a team that is shit. All right, that's I felt there's like 4 or 5 syllables you can hit with Walken.
Yeah.
I feel like
right. Malik Neighbors only has 9 toes. Why are we picking them number 8 overall?
That's so good. This is the Friday action that I'm talking about. That's a lead social clip if I've ever heard one. And look, you're nitpicking all these guys, right? But you know what? Like so much of Neighbors' production last year was like kind of Mickey Mousey, drawn up screens a little over the middle of the stuff. And I'm not saying they can't do that again, but if that's the playbook they're going to run back, everyone's going to be fired by the time like December 1st rolls around. So little bit of run game they can maybe mix into. Maybe they diversify their portfolio a little bit. I like Theo Johnson a lot this year as a potential maybe breakout candidate. But I mean, we're not talking like I'm fading Neighbors. We're just talking about potential, did he peak his rookie year? I've seen a lot of guys do it, especially in New York.
It's wild how Malik Neighbors got like 800 targets last year, and Wan'Dale Robinson also got like 140 targets. It's so funny. They asked Dable about that yesterday. They said Wan'Dale Robinson last year had sort of a historic year, getting 140 targets, and no one has gotten that many targets with as few yards as he got. We're on the clock here. Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Trey McBride, Josh Allen, Marvin Harrison.
Go back up. Who do we got?
Yeah, we have Saquon, but
it's you think Tyreek will come back if not Bucky?
I think he might come back with everything that's going on.
like I said, we need a bad boy on this team, and we've got two incredibly upstanding individuals, two high caliber guys. Well, depending on how you feel about who he's been playing golf with this summer, I guess you could make a case for Saquon maybe not being that guy. But hey, I don't judge. LeBron's golfing.
It sounded like you did just judge. Sure.
I like to get into the mind of the commoner, the everyman, the socialite on either side of the aisle, just because they're so ripe for so much of my material on Twitter, just because the amount that people are willing to put out there about themselves is never. Yes.
Back on the clock.
Let's
do it.
There we go.
Got a week 17 correlation there with the Bucks.
Yeah, I got to tie it back around here. I was like, I've always been so hesitant with Bucks players, just because, not that they've ever burned me, but like when they have a bad game, it's extra bad for me. So I don't like the double dip emotionally like that. But man, he's just, the more you look into what this offense has to be, the more I think they're going to need him to be that dude, because I don't know how many cards they're going to have to play under Grizzard.
Yeah, Rashad White dealing with the groin strain now. Sean Tucker, good runner, but not anything close to Bucky Irving. Their offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard did say that our offense is going to look very similar to what it looked like at the end of last season. And at the end of last season is when Bucky Irving was getting, 16, 18, 20 carries and the targets. And they're, Tristan Wirfs, the left tackle, being out is a little bit concerning, but that offensive line is still very, very good. Like they have a lot of great players outside of that left tackle.
Yeah, that's a big part that gets overlooked last year is, drafting Graham Barton and then Cody Mock taking another step. I mean, a lot of people want to credit Liam Cohen with, a lot of the production out of the run game. And, far be it for me to take any credit away from him. He was unbelievable last year. But I think the consistency year to year with a lot of great offenses is just the offensive line staying together and being there in October and November and December. And the way that Wirfs is built and how much of a freak he is, you're drafting these players for those weeks. And so if you can make up that production with these other guys in these rounds, like rounds 9, 10, 11, 12, like I haven't been drafting a lot of him, but if you draft a guy like Bucky and you're worried about Wirfs, which I wouldn't be, you can pick up like a Travis Etienne, because Travis Etienne is potentially going to have some role for like 4 weeks, and then they're going to throw his corpse overside and it's going to bang against their hole for the rest of the season.
Oh man, what an image.
I wouldn't put anything past Shad Khan, man. He's he comes from that wrestling world. I think that the theatrics are always on. They're so funny. I think that he got like a misprint of the Jerry Jones playbook. And so they want to be in the news all the time, but they don't, it's just the worst way to be in the news, as opposed to, the way that Jerry has played his hand over these last few years.
Devontae Adams still on the okay. He goes off at 44 here, and we are on the clock.
I mean, I see him. I see him. He's right there.
So, which one of these guys, not him, do you want?
If it wasn't him, because not all decisions are made. I like. Give me some Henderson.
Henderson, let's do it.
Yeah, I like a little. I'll buy in. I have to buy into a little preseason hype here a little bit. Plus, I just. The more you look into the pros and cons of what's going on with that offense, the more the pros get longer and the cons get shorter.
Ever since they've drafted him at many different points, they just keep talking about how explosive and like unbelievable this guy is in the open field. So, yeah.
I think they've got like a Sam's Club version of Gibbs and Montgomery. And I hate to just use like one-to-one comparisons, because it's not even close. And McDaniels has been around for far too long to ever say he's got that. But just as far as like
on the clock, DK Metcalf, Devontae Smith.
Oh gosh, he's still there. I hate to say it. I'll let you make the call here. I like to pass the baton a little bit.
Let's do a little Devontae Smith.
Yeah, there we go. I want to take the only
on.
guy on that offense that I know is not reading books, or the only two guys that I know.
Yeah. Devontae Smith more about the exterior kind of excellence.
Yeah, that's right. He
Yeah.
lets his play nourish the intellect of the fans as opposed to performative acts on the sidelines. That's, you know what though? I'm not going to knock Brown for that, but it was like, it's been a while since a receiver really did something on the sidelines like that. I don't even know when the last comp would be. Like, my mind goes to Odell Beckham getting in the fight with the net over the course of like several games on the sidelines, and then the net hitting him back in the eye, and then he apologized to it. We don't have bits like that anymore.
Yeah. I wish it would have been really, really funny if he was just doing the LeBron thing where it's just like the first page of the book every time, right? Like every time we get a photo of LeBron reading in the locker room, it's page one of whatever book.
Oh yeah, and AJ Brown's just like, yeah, that's my favorite saying. Yeah. So can we talk real quick about how you just bulldozed through us picking Rashee Rice on back-to-back picks, and why you feel so strongly about that?
Yeah, it just feels like we're headed for a like 6 to 8 game suspension.
Sure.
Like in the middle of the season or like later on in the season.
So I'll ask you, I've gone both ways on this in a very short period of time. My gut reaction was, is the NFL going to spend Patrick Mahomes' best offensive player when it's probably going to be the most important, especially with their primetime schedule? Or, and this is where I'm leaning back to, does it make a better narrative? Patrick Mahomes missing his best wide receiver. Everybody said he can't get it done. He still has the haunting of the Super Bowl. Like, what do you think the NFL Illuminati is looking at as a better scenario, a better story?
Well, there's with the Jordan Addison thing, like with other things going on, it's not like this is just kind of one isolated case here where there's like nothing else to reference.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think it changes the formula just a little bit, but I mean,
it's unusual.
I guess there's an outcome where he can miss very few games.
Yeah, but it's just, they love. I've never seen an organization that's so good at keeping. It's the biggest sport in the country. It's one of the biggest in the world. There's so much coverage of it 24/7. There's so many examples of them disciplining players.
We're on the clock. Stephon Diggs, Caleb Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, Juwan Jennings, Matthew Golden, Jordan Addison.
Traditionally, I've been going Golden here. I think
would love that.
This is another guy where it's like, I'm not expecting anybody in this rookie class to give us a Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Ladd McConkey-esque season last year. But if I were to finish what I have in my hand right here and really think about it, what this passing offense in Green Bay has looked like under LaFleur, who else they're rolling out, the injuries to Jaden Reed, which isn't crazy. He's doing push-ups on the sideline. But I just feel like what this guy can do for this team, and that's the dude if I had to peg one of these guys.
Yeah, I agree. And we're about to be back on the clock here.
There's a potential. Yeah, so we could go the known version of Rashee Rice here with the second player from the top and just lock down that bad boy, but not like the worst bad boy. Like, did you ever get in trouble at school, but it was just because you were with the group, not that you were the perpetrator, but they always round up the suspects because you guys are always hanging out? That's kind of how I feel about Jordan Addison in this bad boys bunch.
Well, his was fairly bad, but wasn't he was stationary, right? Like he was just sitting in the car, drunk.
Wasn't that the case? Well, so did the discipline come? It wasn't over the course of the several events that happened, right? It was just because of the one, right?
I think, yeah, it was because I believe it was a DUI, but I also think he was just like sitting in the car.
Yeah, he was found asleep He was found asleep in his car, which was blocking a lane of a Los Angeles freeway.
Okay, well, yeah, all right.
Okay. So you guys remember how I said he wasn't the well?
Yeah. That's not
I
great.
did that one time, not that, but I did something similar once where I had a couple drinks. I'm pretty sure I was under the limit. And I was driving my girlfriend around a campus in Central Florida, and a like campus security guard went to pull us over. And like I would have been fine, I know it, but I just panicked because I was like 18 years old. And I hit a hard right, and then I pulled behind a building, and I jumped in the back seat, and I kicked the front door open, so it looked like somebody had gotten out of the car and ran. And so this campus security guard pulled up, and he's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Our friend thought he was going to get a DUI, so he ran. I'm sorry, I didn't know what to tell him." And the campus security guard left and went to try and find him, and and she's dead. So yeah.
Oh no, somebody just drafted a Stone Cold Zero at 83 here.
Oh man, that's a tough look. You hate to see it. That's the last thing you want is a big nothing burger.
Yeah.
I love, you know what I've been calling players? I've been calling those players $20 mocktails because you're overcommitting and you're just getting nothing out of it.
Oh my God, that's such a great term. That's maybe the greatest.
Yeah, right here. That's a Friday term right there.
Yeah.
There's some players that are like, going in that early third, fourth round that are bottle service players. Like you're paying a super premium on something that you would usually pay 10% of at the liquor store or the 10th, 11th round, we'll say. And then you've got your $20 mocktail guys who are just, we all know them when we see them.
You strike me as someone who could make a pretty good cocktail. Have you had experience as a bartender, or like I'm sure you have some drinks you make well regardless.
So I do. I make a very good martini. I make a very good old fashioned. I make a very good paper plane, and I make a very good margarita. Ooh, nice.
Clock here. Travis Kelce, Kyler Murray, Keon Coleman.
Do you think? Let's see here. I've been Kyler Murraying it up lately, but we don't really have a lot to pair it with. So,
I mean, we could back stack maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Let's rock that. I've had so few passing quarterback or non-rushing quarterbacks this year, more than I can ever remember. I've been enjoying, as far as like, I sent you my rankings. I'm just like, I feel like I'm the only crazy, or everyone else is crazy for where I have Mark Andrews. I have him as my tight end 4. I have him above Sam Laporta. I have him just a hair below Kittle. I'm Andrews'd out.
I mean, if he's there, we could definitely take him. Just got to fade one more pick here. Yep. You want to take Andrews?
I do. He's we need some, like we said, we have some high quality individuals on this team, but Mark Andrews has literally saved lives. So as far as like, and he's the veteran. Is he our oldest player? I guess there's Tyreek. After that, he can get the rest of these hooligans in line. But yeah, I love I can make a great margarita. But I find myself, the more older I get, the more I just like lazier I get. So I just go right to like straight bourbon or straight tequila or straight vodka, just whatever's going to get the job done ASAP. What about you? You got any, you got a go-to cocktail?
I started making pictures of mojitos recently when friends would come over, and better than any mojito you will find anywhere. I promise.
What's the secret?
Mojito, and I make the best sloppy joes as well. So the secret to me is getting the like extra large mint leaves.
Sure.
Biggest, freshest mint leaves you can find. And they say you don't want to muddle them too much. Correct. Yep. You want to put all the sugar in there and the big ass mint leaves and just muddle the shit out of it.
Seriously, like you go to any established bar and watch how they muddle. They're not babying those bad boys. They play hard.
Yeah.
Do you put any bitters in yours?
I do not.
Okay.
No, it's just it's sugar, mint leaves, obviously rum, club soda, and limes. Yeah.
I like
got
that.
I
I
got
like that. A little mojito, a little sloppy Joe.
Great combo.
That's like one of the best days you'll ever have in your life. Are you kidding me?
Make a pretty decent vodka gimlet as well. Those are fun.
Excellent. My wife is gonna love this show because you just named off her 2 favorite go-to drinks: a vodka gimlet and a mojito.
Hell yeah. I know not the manliest of drinks, but you know what? When you think about it, it's actually the most manly drinks you could consume and make, because people are like, oh my God, this guy must be just super, super comfortable with who he is and confident.
Yes, that's another thing. When you get older, like the manliest guys are the guys who are just absolutely living their best life by their own rules. And
they're telling people in CVS's that you're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy. And you have a mature audience, so I think they'll respect that.
About to be back on the clock. Brandon Ayuk, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Jared Gorf, David Njoku, Ramondre Stevenson.
Let's go back up a little bit here. See, I've been liking Ayuk a lot too, but I really like Loveland as well. Loveland's mom followed me on Twitter yesterday, so maybe that's the pick.
I feel like we got to take him then. We could also probably call it at 2 tight ends with Andrews and Loveland.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about both of them giving us what we need. I really like every pick so far. This has been very
this is a nice
kind of
game.
And then we'll be back up soon, right? So you know, I'm not dying. We've got our Bears, so I'm not dying to have another piece of that offense. We've already got Trevion.
Yeah.
Man, it's like I just really do see a scenario where Ayuk comes back and he's like their best wide receiver, their best pass catcher after Kittle, if he's got the juice.
Well, yeah, somebody took Ayuk. We could take Jordan Love and stack him with Matthew Golden, right?
Love that.
If we're banking on this big Matthew Golden season, then obviously Jordan Love is bringing him along. It did. By the way, just like going back to that Matthew Golden pick, I mean, everything that's coming out of camp is just like incredible on Matthew Golden, and then everything that's coming from the coaching staff, super positive as well. You look at, like, they have not drafted a wide receiver in the first round in like 2 decades. I think it was their end of season press conference, definitely a press conference before the NFL draft. Their general manager, Brian Gutekunst, was talking about how, like, we really need someone with good hands. We really need someone who can pick up a first down on third downs, and, you know, third and medium, third and long. And then they draft Matthew Golden. So feels like he's going to be super involved in this.
I get it. And you know what? I just feel like this is a team in this Matt LaFleur run that should have a Super Bowl appearance. And something has nipped them in the heel every year, whether it's an injury or a playoff misstep, or they've lost crucial players, or the defense hasn't stepped up. I think they have the team. I think they have the most complete team they've had in a while right now, all the way across the board. You would love a healthy secondary player to step up in the well, I guess you could say Tucker Kraft is that guy, but you would love a third healthy guy like Jaden Reed to be there. And if they are, man, I think that this is a banging offense. As long as they don't get it up into any shenanigans, all they have to do is avoid playing in Brazil, and I think they'll be fun.
Yeah, they got to stay healthy. They feel like one of the more snake bit teams in the NFL. And after the 2023 season, they get rid of their, I know the top guy, I think maybe like most of the training, like health department. Brought in new people, and just kind of the same stuff happened again last year.
Where did Judkins go in this draft?
Has he gone in this draft? Somebody asking about our thoughts on Judkins. Let me see if he's.
Because I mean, I'm just like, I've been messing around just trying to figure out,
he did go. Where did he go?
He's already up to RB21 in redraft on Sleeper. I think he's RB27 on Fantasy Pros. People have just they had it ready to go.
Yeah, he went 119 here. He
Mhm.
went right after we took Colston Loveland.
It's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll talk about him after we make these next 2 picks here.
Let's see, we got a little your boy Trey Benson. I know you've been
well, we do have Kyler, so
yeah,
could make some sense.
How much Jaden Blue have you been drafting?
Jaden, I a little bit of Jaden Blue. I want to say like 7-ish% or so. We're on the clock. Trey Benson.
Let's take a little Trey Benson. I like that as a
treat.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get the play. I don't know if he's going to get the play time that he thinks he's going to, or that everyone else in the world says he's going to get. But I do like him I like his upside.
Yeah. Few picks away. Our team so far: Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson, Trey Benson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, Matthew Golden, Jordan Addison, Mark Andrews, Colston Loveland. About to be back up on the clock, probably looking at a wide receiver or running back here. I think these top 3 or 4 options are pretty nice.
I would take a little Jaden Blue, and I don't know if anybody's going to break away as the big dog there in Dallas. And even if they do, I don't know how valuable that's going to end up being. But I like betting against Javonte Williams. I like betting against Miles Sanders. And, I just think this team's going to air it out like crazy and give me the guy who can actually catch passes, not the guy who was force-fed them in Denver last year.
Yeah, let me pull up these quotes on Javonte Williams from the Coach Speak Index Discord that dropped in there.
Yes.
The other day. This was on the 11th, 4 days ago. Brian Schottenheimer was asked whether Javonte Williams is the starter. Schottenheimer said, "I'm not going to name the starter right now. Javonte's having a great camp. I'm not going to say he's the starter, but Javonte's having a hell of a camp. I love his professionalism. I love everything he does. He's so smart." And then their offensive coordinator, Clayton Adams, that same day in a separate press conference, was asked how Javonte Williams has stood out amongst the running back room. And he said, "I think experience and wisdom. He's had really good years. He's a mature guy that has good wisdom." So that's what's been standing out.
So they basically said he has a great personality.
Yeah.
That is, you know what?
So
that's a good staff right there. I love that. Man, it's so funny. It's so funny how they got progressively worse. If you had just taken the first clip, you could maybe wink at it a little bit, but then it got out of control.
When a coaching staff is asked about a player and their comments are basically saying he'd be a good guy for your daughter today, then probably not a great outlook for their production.
So I know we're coming up here, so I'll keep my eyes on the board, but maybe we'll talk about it once we get through these next 2 picks. But I wanted to ask, has there been any Coach Speak surprise this summer? Have you seen anybody that's either gone against the grain or is playing a little anti-type, or maybe they were trending one direction, now they're trending the other?
Like a player?
A coach.
Well, let's make these picks real quick. We're on the clock. Isaac Garindo, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler. Wow. Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt.
I've been playing with some JCM.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why not? Live a little.
Are you yourself? What did you think about the report that Brian Robinson might not even make the team? These guys are the best.
Man. Yeah, we got that same report about Jalen Coker 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh, this beat writer saying, I don't know if Jalen Coker is going to make this team. Yeah, man. I think you just know zero ball. I think you have your finger on what you think is a pulse, but
do you think that these guys know that they're on your radar, and so they're trying to kind of they're trying to get into the quote game, they're trying to get the sensationalism of being, you know, on some index somewhere?
I don't think the beat writers are there quite yet. About to be on the clock here.
We don't have a Denver Bronco, do we?
We do not. We could do a pat. Oh, he goes.
Well, there he goes.
Like Torrey Horton.
Yeah, I was gonna say Torrey Horton was my next one up. I've got big secondary pass catcher vibes in Seattle from Torrey Horton, from the highlights, from what the beats have been saying, from what the coaching staff has been saying. I've been enjoying the Torrey Horton ride.
Yeah, got some pretty bearish stuff as well on Marquez Valdez-Scantling recently in the Coach Speak Index Discord from head coach Mike McDonald, who was asked about MVS, and he was like, he's in a battle for his spot right now. Like he's Torrey Horton coming on. He's had a great career, but there's great competition in this room.
Oh man, I just the anti Javonte Williams.
Right. Your question was about a coach who has done kind of like a 180 as far as like reliability, or?
So I've been thinking about your scale and where they land, and I'm wondering, I guess the better way to phrase that question is anybody potentially have the opportunity to tip their scale one way or the other based upon how they've been talking? And maybe it doesn't play out until the season starts, I guess, but I guess I just wonder if there's anybody on your radar that is maybe saying some things that they haven't traditionally said in the past, or is maybe approaching things with a different attitude. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the negative one, which is Brian Dable is doing the Jim Harbaugh thing now of just like not talking about injuries, just saying like he's working through something. Like that's his go-to now.
Okay.
I can't off the top of my head.
Well, Brian Daboll's going through something right now, and it's because his job's on the line, and they have Russell Wilson at quarterback. They hardly did anything else on offense, and the defense is admirable at best outside of the defensive line. God bless them.
And there's also the concerns that just came out recently about Ozempic.
Oh,
not that Dable, not that I'm saying that Dable's on Ozempic, but
like, how far can you distance yourself from 2022, which was your only good season? Like, I like a stocky guy that looks like he could kick anybody's ass, but won't. And, ekes his way to the playoffs.
Yeah. Dable, what a guy.
Holding on, still coaching.
About to be back on the clock here. We could do Sam Darnold with our Torrey Horton, get our third QB. Yeah.
I'm like, it's so shocking to me. I like that. Like the quarterbacks 22 through say 28. I don't know if it's ever been better. And not that these are like home run guys that you're happy to have in your lineup any single week, but man, it's a stretch of guys that I'm like, okay, well, these guys are either coming off of pretty good season recently, or they weren't the reason their recent season was bad, or there's they still have a level to go to. It's a great year for late quarterback.
Definitely. About to be us. We could stack Michael Wilson with Kyler Murray. There's Alec Pierce, Jack Besh available super late here. Darius Slayton.
Let's somebody just hit us.
Yeah.
They just hit us with that. That's who I was going to say.
Noel also.
What Lions do we have? Could we mix some Tesla in there, or is that too? Let's mix a little Tesla action. We're grabbing some players from some fantastic offenses. Our wide receiver room is all ceiling, man. I am about that.
Well, I was going to do a quick recap, but we only have one player left to draft here. The Torrey Horton thing. Actually, let me answer this question here in the chat first. I'm all over the place. Here we go. When in a pinch at receiver in the mid rounds, who is the better click, Hollywood Brown or Joshua Palmer? I think it's a Joshua Palmer. There's some like not great stuff right now on Hollywood Brown. Let me pull that up.
Yeah. While you're pulling that up, I'll give my little tidbit.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever said, I'm glad I drafted Hollywood Brown. He's had 4 to 6 week stretches over a given period of time. The way he's built, the way he plays, it just hasn't meshed. And this is a guy who's played with Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. He has been given the opportunity to have a better career than he has. Now, that doesn't mean that, Josh Palmer's been crushing it, but I do think there's room on that Buffalo Bills offense for somebody to not let you down.
Yeah. So here are the quotes. This is August 7th. Andy Reid. Sorry, August 3rd. Andy Reid saying Hollywood Brown is making progress. It doesn't look like he's going to have surgery. That's what I mean when I say that something isn't serious. We have to let it heal up. And then on the 11th, he said it's not really a high ankle sprain for Hollywood Brown. It's more ankle foot area. He's making great progress, though. He's running now a little bit. So that's a positive. I don't think he's too far off, but we'll see. He's doing good.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Doesn't
old
great. And then Joshua Palmer, they do like in Buffalo. They talk all the time about positionless receivers and also how Joshua Palmer is a positionless receiver. I think very good pick in best ball. Redraft, like maybe, but probably not, just given their whole everybody eats.
Yeah, he'll be on the waiver wire all off season long in redraft. That's somebody that he will be at the top of the queue for a redraft.
We're on the clock here. Jalen Knoll, Tutu Atwell, Kavontae Turpin, Malik Washington.
I like Noel. I think that Noel, I keep saying Noel. I think it's because I've been saying Noel my whole life, and so I see it and just not able to snap out of it. I think he could overtake Christian Kirk for that slot role, which we've seen be a very valuable role for a Texans offense that's going through a little bit of an evolution right now. They're trying to take some heat off of the 32nd best player in the league, according to the NFL Top 100, Nico Collins. Still believe very strongly in CJ Stroud. Joe Mixon's in a boot. I know what to do.
Yeah. It recently released a late round dart throws episode with Pat Carrain, and Jalen Knoll was one of his late round dart throws that he really loves. I know Pete Overzet is really, really big on Jalen Knoll this year. I know a lot of people thought that Jalen Knoll was a better prospect than Jaden Higgins. And
if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was a top 5 consensus wide receiver in the draft, and he just doesn't get talked about that because of what ended up happening and where he fits into the situation. But this is just a great bet on talent scenario, and there's not going to be you're not going to find guys that I believe are that talented in many more of these rounds.
Yeah, this is kind of the area that Tank Dell was going a couple years ago. That paid off pretty nicely. B Shells 13 wondering, does Elijah Moore have an opportunity to be this year's Jerry Jeudy, or do I finally need to give up on him?
That's a tricky one because, what made Jerry Jeudy pop was how they finally started using him specifically in Cleveland against how he was used in Denver. And I guess I just wonder if they have a need for that in Buffalo. Like you said, they're a very malleable group of guys there. I don't know if there's any one guy that's going to that's going to fit a specific role like that. I want him to because I've always thought he was a talented player that hasn't really gotten the targets that I think he's maybe capable of, but who's to say?
Well, let's recap our team here. Quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Sam Darnold. Running backs, Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson, Trey Benson, Jaden Blue, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, Matthew Golden, Jordan Addison, Torrey Horton, Isaac Tesla, Jalen Knoll. And at tight end, Mark Andrews and Colston Loveland. How you liking this team?
I don't know if I've ever felt better about a team in my entire life.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it does feel quite good. I'm just the kind of guy my whole life. I just always wanted to do a little something different, and that shakes out in my content pretty well.
Let's name this Chuck Bass, guaranteed winner.
Content destroyer. And I do want to shout out Brendan Shelley there, who asked that question and hit us with the 5-minute instrumental break. And he's saying that because I did karaoke at the expo and I sang the words 5-minute instrumental break. And that's when they cut the mic off. That's when they knew I had been overserved. So I did do Return of the Mac. So if that gives me any equity in the audience, maybe it'll go somewhere.
Classic.
Yeah. Good times.
Got a real lounge singer over here, a real Robert Goulet.
I like to dabble. You know, I think after the 45 minutes and 30 seconds of recording right now, the audiences they can probably guess everything about my life. I don't put on for the camera, ladies and gentlemen. I'm this person always.
Dude, come out to LA and we'll hit up a karaoke spot. We'll go nuts.
That's one of my dream scenarios. You, me, maybe we can get a little Gavin Newsom and we just hit up the spot. He's always trying to brand.
I'll text Gav.
I love it.
Before I let you go, I would love to know what are your 4 favorite films?
My 4 favorite films. I'll try and give you one in each genre. How about that? I am a little malleable with them, depending on what the BAC is and stuff like that. But top of my head right now, one I've really been loving is Sicario. I love Sicario. Massive. You know, that's just one of my favorite all-timers. Brolin's amazing. Del Toro's amazing. I just love everything about the direction, the sound, all that. Happy Gilmore is my favorite comedy. Always will be, I think. I haven't seen the sequel out of respect. I'm not going to play that game. As far as kind of like, I don't know what kind of category that fits into, maybe a historical dramatization. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just love that kind of, the Tarantino of it all, but a little bit more cool. That's his coolest movie, I think. And I've always really enjoyed that. And then big shout out, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. That'll be, that's my last pick.
All right. That's one of those movies that like I can never remember if I've seen it. Like I think I watched it.
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah. Is that Jackie Chan or Kurt Russell?
It's Kurt Russell, and he has the joke of the movie is that they never showed him the script pretty much, or at least that's how he plays it. So he's always like asking questions, but he's doing it as Kurt Russell and he's so confused, but they lean into it so hard and it's so over the top and it's so campy. And it's just, it's an era of America that you can never repeat again. And that's why I love it.
Big Trouble in Little China, right? I got to look up right now to see if I have. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. I'm adding it to the watch list.
A little mojito, a little sloppy Joe, maybe a couple Jello shots, and I think you'll be right as rain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to everybody for hanging out. We got another draft at the top of the hour with the Ringers, Danny Kelly.
All right. Star-studded appearances.
Big day. Yeah. I mean, Chuck Bass for the main course. And then Danny Kelly dessert.
Well, dessert's always everybody's favorites anyway, so I don't mind. I don't mind serving Danny up because I know he's going to be coming in with some. Danny's a very knowledgeable guy. I've always loved his work over at the Ringer. I was actually listening to one of his podcasts yesterday, so give him a shout out for me. Tell him to keep doing what he's doing.
For sure. Why don't you tell us what you're doing, what you got going on?
I am creating content over at Player Profiler. I'll be doing their start sits on Sunday mornings, early morning start sits for the diehards, people who can't sleep because they're trying to figure out, Debo Samuel or who's another good one? Who's in that Debo range? Debo Samuel or Juwan Jennings. Thank you. If you can't sleep and you want to get out of bed and have some coffee with us, we'll be doing that at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Otherwise, I'll be putting content out for them throughout the week. I'll be extremely active on Twitter. I do like to comment on players when they have good performances. I skew from the bad. and just having fun, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll see you at the top of the hour. Peace.